We said we're gonna talk about this game. Let's talk about this game a little bit. Well, so Gwent. I come from a Hearthstone. I played Hearthstone for about 3 or 4 years, 2 years competitively, basically. And the obvious things that need to be pointed out, even this game is in close beta, it's way more competitive than Hearthstone is currently. Like, the skill cap of this game is insane, and I love it. Also, the originality of this game is amazing, like the innovation and stuff. That's probably where CPDR excels. Then, second thing CPDR probably excels is communication with the community. That's probably a very huge plus for the company as well. And the fourth thing I would, or the third thing, that doesn't matter. I would like to point out that CPDR is amazing at is probably the marketing strategy. They are great at marketing their game. This game is insanely huge. It's like, you might say, yeah, Hearthstone is 10 times bigger, but for what stage this game currently is and what it represents, it's actually insanely huge. There should not be this many players there actually are currently, so that's another huge plus for CPDR. Now come the worst points. So, where does CPDR lack? What do they need to improve? Well, I guess one thing is actually planning ahead, but it's also a plus there, because the Challenger qualifier was very badly made, I would say. The thing that there is actually no spectate mode for such an occasion is pretty bad. And like stuff like the servers going to streamers like 1 week ahead that you can actually watch on stream without actually playing it was pretty bad. But they said, we do make mistakes, we apologize, we won't make them again. If they won't make them again, it's fine. It's completely understandable. They do not have experience with card games, so if they do not repeat the same mistakes, it's fine. There are worse issues though. Cool story, but the match has an amazing story about the universe. Yes, that's also true. I mean, that kind of goes along with the innovation, right? Now the worst stuff about CPDR. Well, the first is game balancing. That is quite a huge issue. I would say the game developers don't really have enough skill themselves to actually know how to balance their game properly. I do play this game for only a month and a half, but there is a lot of stuff I already noticed. The first one, that was probably the most obvious one, was the patch. Was the big patch, like, which was like 2 weeks ago or something. So basically the meta was 3 decks, right? It was, the most played was the Necromonstrous, the second played was Dwarf Scoia'tael, the third play was Discard Skellige. And then fourth was probably Scoia'tael Control or something, and Foltest and stuff. Well, the best deck, they basically didn't nerf, did they? Basically the Necromonster just lost Monster Nest. That's it. They only lost Monster Nest. It's literally the only card they lost. And they left everything else by itself. It was the most played deck, and they just... they didn't even remove Monster Nest, they just made it you can't use it on Neckers. That seems like a really big under-nerf of the best deck on the ladder. And you have second best deck, Dwarf deck. They actually decided to nerf the Mahakam defenders, right? And they also nerfed all the row buffing and many other stuff. They nerfed Saskia from 9 to 7 and stuff. So they nerfed the second best deck way more than the best deck. And then comes Discard Skellige, which is third best deck, and they nerf Birna, they nerf Donar, they nerf Kingbren, they nerf Longships, they nerf Morgvark, they actually nerf Morgvark twice. That's insane! Why does the best deck get one single shitty nerf? The second best deck gets 3 more nerfs, and the third best deck gets completely destroyed. That's just retarded. I have no fucking idea what were they thinking, but that's just retarded, honestly. Like, they actually had a lot of top tier players to actually test the patch for them. They were discussing it with them. And for some reason they patch it like this. It just feels dumb to me. Then, as a second example, I'm sorry if I yell too much.
Your face! God damn it!
He's yelling scary. I'm sorry, guys. So, the second example, after the patch, so there's a new meta, right? Control Squirtle is the best deck, then Consume Monsters is the second best deck. It's not really surprising, because these two were the best decks before the patch as well. A new deck comes along, Hansel, which is actually weaker than the two mentioned before, and for some reason, they make a quick patch where they actually nerf the Hansel and not the Squirtle and Monsters again. Why? That is really, really, really bad. They seriously need someone new on the game developer team who will actually help them with balancing the game, because it's clear that I'm not sure who actually is responsible for the nerfs and buffs. I assume it's Retas and some other people, but they clearly don't have the know-how to actually do it correctly. To play Devil's Advocate, you don't necessarily need to nerf the best deck if the reasons why it's good are okay. What? So that's a very, very bad thing for CPDR, and I don't think, like, there are two ways to fix that. A is to actually interest the best players, to actually get them in the inner circle and let them balance the game, or basically just hire new employees to balance the game. That's literally the only two ways, because the people that are balancing it now won't handle it. I mean, I'm not insulting them, like, it's a card game. They don't have any experience with the card game. It's understandable they don't actually know how to properly balance the card game, right? It's not surprising. So, but they seriously can't just keep going like this, because the game will be so unbalanced if they just keep doing their own stuff without actually knowing how to do it correctly. When CPDR for losing the game like me, that's clever. So that's a major issue with this game. And then the second major issue I would call out is bug fixing, mostly. And bug fixing plus features, I would say, it's going really slow. Like, there's currently like a bug where the Nilfgaard cards get turned down like ambushes and your game crashes and you lose the match. This bug is around for like a week. I'm not sure how hard it is to actually fix. It might be very hard to fix, yes, but it should probably get fixed in less than a week, I think. That's probably not the major issue. The major issue, I would say, the ladder. Like, just the thing that you can actually have a match where you win and gain 0 points. Hell, you can actually get a match where you win and you actually lose points. That actually can happen. That is not hard to fix. It really isn't. I don't actually program. I was programming for like 1 year in a fucking high school, and I would be able to do this in an hour to fix the ladder. It's really not that hard to put that line of code there. I mean, you could probably argue that they want to make a permanent fix that actually works and the ladder is balanced and it works how it does, but there is no reason to do that right now, right? We're in closed beta. Just make the game playable for everyone. So just make a hot fix that actually just closes the gap so you can get like lose 25 points. I mean, gain 25 points as minimum and gain 75 as maximum. And just do that for now before you actually decide how the ladder system should work. It's really not that hard to actually code that. It's not. It's a very simple line of code. I'm not really sure how hard it is to actually make like spectator mode, for example, so I don't really want to say that there already should be a spectate mode. That might actually be way harder. I don't think making an in-game chat should be that hard. I think also in-game chat should be probably in this game way earlier than it currently is, which is never. So the bugs fixing is really slow, and the balancing game is currently pretty bad. Those are basically the only two bad things I can say about Gwent though. Otherwise, the CPDR is making a very great job. They need to fix these two issues, and if they do, then this game is basically Gucci, and this game will become an actual esports thing. It will. I won't say it's gonna overtake Hearthstone. It's probably not, but it can actually get quite close to it, and I think that would be more than enough for CPDR. So that's basically how I would sum up this game currently. I mean, and coin flip, but coin flip is like coin flip really takes a shit ton of thought to actually balance. It's really hard to balance that, especially when you have 5 factions that all do some other stuff, so that it's really hard to balance, and I'm not really surprised they haven't done it yet, honestly. But you're right, coin flip is also another big issue. If you have any arguments, I'm happy to read them right now. Yet this game is much more balanced than Hearthstone, yes, that's actually funny. Started with Hearthstone as well, in Season 2 got Legend and switched to Feria, got ranked there as well, and now I play Gwent and Test, and I still do my dailies in Hearthstone and Feria as well. Gwent is quite different, but I still was expecting to like Father and play for like 1 year, I was expecting to be around 15 already, I'm currently at 53. Yeah, this game is pretty good. So it took years to implement Spectate and still sucks shit. That's true, that's true. It's probably quite difficult to make a Spectate mode that's actually workable. What do you think about coin flip GG? I think it's definitely needs to be fixed. I'm not sure how. Like, there was a recommendation that you basically lose coin flip every second game. So it's actually exactly 50-50. But then people could like switch decks to actually avoid it. It's probably better to actually just balance it somehow, give them extra unit on board at the start or something. I'm not sure how to fix it, but it's definitely an issue that needs to be fixed. The second with gaining no reward is retarded, true. Maybe who plays first can mulligan 4 times to make it more balanced. That's probably not a good fix, because not everyone is gonna use it. It should be something that everyone can use. Also, the community is Gwent is amazing. There are alternatives to coin flip, there basically are none. There needs to be a coin flip, it just needs to be balanced somehow. I think they should evaluate the average stat value of card advantage and maybe give whoever holds this gonna start stats up on opponent. Yeah, that's basically probably the best way to fix that. But it's really hard to balance that, right? Exactly as Celeborn is saying, Celeborn for mod. I'm not really sure we want to mod another noob of Gwent, so yeah, dude. Just joking, Celeborn. In CB they should probably do something, not to try fix the computer, just to see how it goes, but if ideas have been thrown around, yes. I mean, it's just hard to choose the correct one. And right now they're busy with developing game and don't have much time to bug fixing. I mean, the bug fixing, it's basically developing the game. Does it say they would do something before open beta if they were going to address the coin flip situation? They should, yeah. It'll still be 50% over a big sample size, that's how probability works. I mean, yeah, but it would be like 100% 50-50 all the time, so you wouldn't actually like climb to number 1 just because you luckily got 10 games in a row going second, right? But it's probably just better to balance it with strength somehow. To consider the opponent as well, if you both lost coin flip last game, well, you just get queued into the opponents who won the coin flip, you know, it would just matchmate you against those. Would they at least optimize? But it's probably not a great way to go about it. It's probably the best way is to actually give strength to the one who loses the coin flip or wins the coin flip, which is actually bad in this game, right? They're probably busy developing single player mode. That's probably not what should they focus right now on. They should have a mini game to decide coin flips. Like IQ tests, right? Who fills the quiz faster wins the coin flip. Be honest, Reddit community is pretty immature sometimes. I mean, there always will be immature people, and Reddit is like the hive of immature people. So I think that like there will always be kids in every game, but I would say that this game has like the best adult to young word on that scale, something, you know what I mean. People with more hours in Witcher 3 even the coin flip. It's actually funny. To be honest, I'm sure there are different teams for different features of the games. As people think all this are good. I'm not saying that. I definitely am not. I'm just calling out issues that need to be fixed, and people responsible for fixing them should be fixing them way faster than they currently are. Include the server and about the game balancing, they should basically just hire someone else or just get someone from the pro players and actually listen to them. Include a silver card that is low value but lets you choose who goes first and blocks the value spot. I don't like that really. Rock, paper, scissors. No, let's not do that. It just should be fixed by balancing the strength. Just give an extra unit on the board. It's probably the best way to do it. Do you think the community will still be good after launch? I think it will. I mean, like, it depends what you call good community. It's gonna get worse, yes. Because the smart people come in when first, then the stupid follow, basically. That's how it works in everything, right? The smart get everywhere first, the stupid follow. So the stupid will come, but I think there'll still be, compared to other games, this would be one of the most mature communities in game world today. I actually do believe that, if not the most mature of them all. I'm actually really surprised. With my experience from League of Legends, I'm quite used to a lot of cancerous Polish people. I actually really hated Polish players. I actually did. I actually put you all in one basket saying fuck Poles. But after playing Gwent, I did change my opinion. I'm an old guy. I'm 24. Changing opinions is not that easy, and Polish people in Gwent community are actually amazing. So that mistake won't ever happen again. I apologize for hating on all of you because of some League of Legends cancer kids.